Hello everyone. Last week I was in DC and I had a chance to visit Ford's Theater where Lincoln was shot and died across the street in a boarding house in 1865, right at the end of the Civil War. I'll tell you a little bit about that and we'll kind of go through what happened briefly. The person that shot him was John Wilkes Booth, who was a Confederate sympathizer, also an actor, so he knew people at Ford's Theater and had access to, he was able to get in the back door from one of the people that was working there, and he got up to the president's box and barred the door so that it couldn't be shut properly. President Lincoln, by the way, had a wonderful day. He had met with his cabinet. He was very happy about the end of the Civil War because it had dragged on much longer than people had thought. And he ended up wanting to go to the theater that he oftentimes did throughout the war as a chance to take a break from everything that happens when you're president. Just like today, presidents golf or go on vacations or go to their summer homes or whatever. This is what President Lincoln did during the Civil War and after it as well, obviously. And so President Lincoln, he invited General Grant and his wife, but to be honest, General Grant's wife hated Mary Todd Lincoln. She thought she didn't want to go to the theater, and so they end up going with another couple. I think it was a Major General Rathbone or something like that from the Civil War. He ended up getting stabbed by John Wilkes Booth, but didn't die. So anyways, let's go into the theater here, and when we go into the theater, we can see they were playing this play called Our American Cousin. 8 conspirators wanted to kill not only President Lincoln, but also Vice President Johnson and Secretary of State Seward, who is famous, most famous for Seward's Folly, the purchase of Alaska. President got there, and they were watching the play, and he was shot by a .44 caliber Derringer that John Wilkes Booth shot. I have the perspective here for you, and he was taken. John Wilkes Booth said something, and then he jumped off the balcony, broke his foot, and there was a manhunt for him for several days. He was caught several days after and was shot and killed himself. But Lincoln went across the street to this guy William Peterson's house where he had some rooms that he rented, and Lincoln died there. The next morning, I believe it was 7:22 in the morning, he was declared dead. They didn't think they could do very much for him. Seward said the famous quote, "Now he belongs to the ages." I have these pictures of these books because President Lincoln, they say there might not be another human being with more written about them. There's a wonderful book I just recently read, which I suggest if you have a chance, called Team of Rivals, which talks about how President Lincoln took all the people that were also fighting with him for the presidency from the Republican Party, and he basically put them in his cabinet, which was unusual, but worked really well. So that's it. That's the Ford's Theater trip that I took. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and if not, I look forward to seeing you in the classroom soon. Take care. Bye-bye.